welcome to Wheel of Wisdom. Welcome, everyone. And now let me show you guys our Wheel of Wisdom. So, just a moment. So, here is our wheel. And as you can see, this wheel contains the name of 50 plus books that I have read over the past few years. And now, what we are going to do is I invite you to ask yourself, what do you need guidance on today? Is there something that you would like to receive some guidance or support on? So let that thing surface to your mind and hold that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came up is You Don't Owe Anyone by Caroline Garnett McGraw. So let me open this beautiful book. And what I saw here is like 24 people have joined, and we have 24 hearts. So love that. Love that. And I recently learned how to do this. I was in Nicole's live and I was like, okay, how do we do this? And then I was always wondering. I thought she used some software. So she's another teacher if you don't know. And then I came across, how to do this and that, out of like nowhere. Okay. So let me open the book, which was You Don't Owe Anyone. So this is our beautiful, beautiful book. And now I am going to choose some numbers for our game together so that each and every one of us can receive the message that we need to hear most right now. So, my dear ones, in a moment from now, I am going to ask you guys to pick a number. And you don't need to rush, just choose a number that feels, that comes up first in your mind. So just trust your instinct, trust the first number that pops up, and share it in the comments. And then I will go through all your numbers and pick a number that my intuition is feeling most called to. Okay. So the numbers between which I invite you to choose are 19 to 190. Sorry, I put it like 1 and 9, but it's like 19 to 190. Today I'm making a lot of mistakes, but it happens. It's okay. You guys are very forgiving and patient. So yeah, just see whatever number pops up for you between 19 and 190 and share it in the comments. Thank you, dear Beverly. Thank you, Sarah. Anna says, happy accidents like Bob Ross. Okay, to be honest, I don't know who that is. But yeah, I love your kindness, Anna. Thank you for sharing a number. Thank you, Catherine. Ah, what a what an auspicious number you have chosen. Thank you, Maddie. Anyone else who wants to choose a number and receive a reading? Ah, Pradeep says, just join. May I know what we are choosing a number for? Yeah, sure, Pradeep. So So we have a wheel of wisdom, and that wheel has chosen a book for us, which is titled "You Don't Owe Anyone." And now I have asked you guys to pick a number between these two page numbers, which is 19 to 190. So whichever number I choose amongst these, I will open that page and I will read the highlighted text from that page, because as I was reading I made like notes and stuff. So yeah, so in this way, through your intuition and my intuition, this collective wisdom will guide us to the right message that you and everyone else needs to hear. So that's what we're doing, Pradeep. So if you feel called, you can also choose a number. Anna says Bob Ross is an artist that was always so positive. Oh, okay, that's lovely. I'm going to check, the beautiful work of Bob Ross then after this. Pradeep says, sounds scary to me. Mm, okay, not sure which part, but yeah, if you are up to the risk, if you are open to whatever it is that the universe wants to tell you, you can choose a number. And if you want to wait and watch for this book and maybe choose for the next one, you can do that as well. Okay, so yeah. So I'm taking another sip. And until then, if anyone wants to share a number, you can. If not, then that's okay too. You can simply listen. Okay, so let's see which number is coming up for me amongst these. Thank you, Letty, for sharing a number. I will consider yours as well. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is 170 by Maddie. Okay, let's see what wants to come through page number 170 for Maddie and anyone else who needs to hear that message too. Give me a second to find the page number. Mhm. Okay, so the heading for this is You Don't Owe Anyone Superhuman Strength. So there is, I guess, an excerpt from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, which says, the life of a caretaker is as addictive as the life of an alcoholic. Here, the intoxication is the emotional relief that temporarily comes when answering a loved one's need. Though it never lasts, in the moment of answering someone's need, we feel loved. While much good can come from this, especially for those the caretaker attends, the care itself becomes a drink by which we briefly numb a worthlessness that won't go away unless constantly dosed with another shot of self sacrifice. So, this was the message that wanted to come through. And it's not about that caring for anyone else or showing compassion or doing something kind for anyone else, taking care of anyone else is a bad thing. It's more about that, learning to balance your own needs as well as others. So if you are in that role, if you are taking care of someone, whether someone is ill, whether it can be even your own child, you're taking care of them, it can become so exhausting sometimes. So this universe might be inviting you through this beautiful reading that, you know, maybe bring that same level of care that you're bringing to others towards yourself as well. Understand your needs just like you understand what other person, your loved one, might be needing, and then take a step to meet your need just like you take a step for meeting someone else's need. So, you know, so let me know, Maddie, if this message is resonating with you at all, or maybe right now it isn't, and something might come up this week that might be related to this message. So maybe being open, remembering, keeping this as a reminder close to your heart to deal with any situation that is either happening right now or that may come up this week, um, where you be mindful of your needs, where you take care of yourself and others, both because you also deserve your love, you also deserve your care, and you do not have some superhero strength. And And it's okay if you are the one who's taking care of someone else, and it's okay to ask for help, to ask for support, and let's do that together. It's not about abandoning anyone else, but it's also not about abandoning yourself, right? Because you are the one who should be there for you, right? Ah, and there was one more thing that is important, so if you are on the other side of it, if you are receiving care, then there was a beautiful thing amidst this paragraph hidden that, you know, that when someone takes care of you, it's like they also feel good. It's like, if you have this feeling like I'm a burden on someone else, then maybe remembering that taking care of you can be that act of meaning in their life. Like it might be adding some meaning in their life as well. They are taking care of you, they are there for you, they are present with you because they love you. And you need to remember that, and not think of yourself as a burden on someone else, because that might happen if you have been on the receiving end for a while. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. What are the beautiful comments that are pouring in? Belle says, this is so meaningful. For me, I am caring for my mother after my father passed away in February. Oh, Belle, I am so sorry for your loss. And I'm just, taking a moment to visualize you and your mother and anyone else who has been impacted by your father passing away in, this bubble of warmth, of love. And I hope that, anyone in that bubble can feel this love, can feel held, can feel supported, by the entire universe in this moment. So, yeah, I'm sending you, this healing, warm energy, Belle. And thank you so much for sharing, this with us. Thank you, Ben. Let's see. Beverly says that resonates with me. Thank you, Beverly, for letting me know. I'm glad that, it landed somewhere within your heart. Thank you, Anna, for that, lovely hug. And I'm glad that this, served as a good reminder because, sometimes we forget these things and it's very important to be reminded of it at the right time, just when we need them, right? That's why the space is for. It's not something new that I tell you or that these books tell you. It's just about remembering what you already know, what you need to hear most, at sometimes difficult moments, right? Ah, and okay, before I read Maddie's comment, I wanted to share a small resource, in case you are a caregiver and, because some of you said you have resonated with that. So, like, a way to tend to your own needs and to become aware of yours, because sometimes we are not even aware of what we need, right? We are so focused on everything that we have to do and all the people that we have to tend to. So, we are not even aware of our needs most of the times. Uh, Maddie says it's brilliant because I have been working on boundaried support of loved ones. It feels like an encouraging nudge that this is the right focus right now. Thank you. Ah, I am so glad, Maddie, that you're taking steps towards that. Oh, that is amazing alignment. Thank you, Maddie, for sharing it with us. And I hope that, you receive all the tiny signs and the nudges and, like all the synchronicities and signs aligned for you. And that this path is, this path, this work that you're doing, go with more ease, as the next steps unfold for you. So thank you so much, Maddie, for sharing that. Ah, and lovely. Oh, Beverly is, sending love and prayers to Belle. Okay. Ah, oh, I love how you guys, send so much positive energy to each other, how supportive and kind you are. It's just such a nice feeling to hang out with souls like you. Okay. Now let us move on to our second book. Ready? So, I invite you again to bring to your mind whatever it is you need guidance on. So, bring that, hold that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Give me a second to open the wheel. So, here is our wheel of wisdom. And now, let's spin. Okay. So the book that came up is Mindfulness on the Go. Simple meditation practices you can do anywhere by Jan Chosen Bees. So just give me a moment to open this beautiful book. So this is like the cover of our book, Mindfulness on the Go. And now choosing some numbers to play a game together. Mhm. Okay. So, my dear ones, in a moment from now, I am going to ask you guys to pick a number, and you don't need to rush. Just see whatever number first pops up in your head and then share a number amongst that. Nice to see, Pradeep, that you are excited. You are all ready this time. But I would invite you to, take a moment and pick a number between 20 to 93. Love the excitement, Sarah. But yeah, I would request you to pick a number between 20 to 93 because usually on initial pages it's like some publisher kind of stuff. So yeah. Okay. Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Beverly. And now let me read Beverly's comment. I missed that. Beverly says, I help to care for my sister who has Parkinson's. Recently, haven't done as much and pulled away. So at times have felt guilty. taking time to reflect and take care of myself. The caregiver's role has been with me for both my deceased parents too. Oh, Beverly, I'm first of all sending you a warm hug. I can't imagine how hard it might be for you to, to process all that grief and then to also have the energy to, take care of your sister who is suffering herself. And I understand that, we feel guilty when we see that the other person might need us, but we also don't have it in us to, be able to meet that need. And, as the saying goes, that we can't, pour from an empty cup, which is so true that when your energy, like, it's like a battery when your energy and uh, everything is on low, it feels like nearly impossible to do that. And it's okay. You don't have to wait until you hit that, red bar and your energy and everything is like way low. You are allowed to take a break in between, you're allowed to recharge yourself so you don't hit the very end, because like, just like in a phone, if we charge it always at 1%, then we never know how quickly it might go way down, and also it is not good in the long term for the phone, right? So similarly same goes for us, in a way that you don't have to let yourself hit the very lowest point to be able to give yourself permission to take rest, to take a break, to take care of your needs. And when you do that, it's just you are fulfilling, you are just filling up your resources so that you can take care of her better as well. You can't do that when you are yourself, on the low. Either it is low mood, either it is low energy, so yeah, just something to think about when that guilt overpowers you. And thank you so much for sharing this with all of us. Uh, okay, let's see. So more people have shared some numbers. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, two different Sarahs. Okay, anyone else who wants to share a number and receive a reading from this book, which is called Mindfulness on the Go? Beverly says, "Thank you so much, Anisha. That is helpful. I'm I'm happy to hear that, that you allowed it to reach your heart." Pradeep says, "I feel like I'm gambling." I wouldn't say gambling, I would say a game. And that too, this is not just for fun. It's more about connecting with your, intuition, connecting with your inner knowing. You have one, all of us have that inner wisdom, that inner knowing, that intuition, but we rarely, connect to it. And the more we start to connect with it, the more our bond with it, our relationship with it strengthens. So, this is why I ask you guys to pick a number and then I pick a number. So, we both are practicing our intuition, connecting with our intuition. And then, when something comes up and, it resonates with that person, like you are able to develop that trust in your intuition. And so am I, with that feedback. Every time you say that this resonates with me, it just strengthens that trust within my own inner knowing as well. So that's what like the deeper meaning behind, what we are doing and why we are doing it. And of course, it's fun. So yeah, that's also like a plus side, a nice plus side. And yeah, I'm also getting 44, 44 on my screen, like 44 minute and 44 people have passed, sorry, joined this live. So yeah, I see that as a confirmation. Okay, so hope that maybe changed your perspective about this, Pradeep, or maybe it didn't. That's okay. I just wanted to share why we are doing this. Okay, now let me see which number is coming up for me amongst all of these. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is feeling confused between two numbers. Okay, let's go with 77 by Beverly. Okay, so what wants to come through page 77? Mm, okay, so the heading, actually, this has come up before as well, this reading, but yeah, let's, let it be a reminder again for us. So, the title of this chapter is Listen Like a Sponge. So, this is the practice that listen to other people as if you were a sponge, soaking up whatever the other person says. Let the mind be quiet and just take it in. Don't formulate any response in the mind until a response is requested or obviously needed. So, that is kind of a practice that came up for you, Beverly, and anyone else, who who has someone who would really benefit if you truly listen to that person, if you just took a moment. So maybe, you know, maybe Beverly, there is a loved one, either it is your sister, itself, or anyone else, So whe- this week, if someone comes up and shares something for you, or maybe today, setting that intention that I would be a mindful listener today, I would listen more mindfully. I would, like truly, truly listen to that person instead of thinking about what to say next, instead of thinking about what do I have to do next, or instead of, forming any kind of assumption, judgments in your mind, just stopping all of it for that, maybe for one conversation today, and just letting that whatever that person is saying truly sink in within you, and truly seeing that person, truly hearing that person, to be like more specific, or to make it more concrete, truly understanding what that person in front of me is really feeling, and what they might be needing from this conversation. And then after they have finished, if it's, if you feel like a response is needed from you, of course you give that response. You can use that pause, that silence is nothing to be afraid of. You can just take a pause, or you can let them know, okay, give me a second to think about it, and then you can form your response and think about it in your mind. But for that duration when they're speaking, truly listen to the sound of their voice, maybe as if you're listening to it for the very last time, or for the very first time in your life. Just really listen to them in that manner. So yeah, that was the reading. Yeah, and if you feel called to share anything regarding that, Beverly, you're welcome to do that. And anyone else also, if you feel called to share something about it, you can do that in the comments. Anna says, "Oh, that's good. Don't speak until response is requested or obviously needed." Ah, exactly. And love that you reiterated it in the comments. so that we can remember that. Ah, thank you, Anna, for your reflections. I'm really grateful that you tuned into today's live. It's really nice hanging out with you. Okay, so in case Beverly's writing something, you can do that, but like take your time. And if not, and if you're just, listening and taking it in, that's also okay because a response is not needed. It's not compulsory. If you feel called, you can share something in the comments. If not, then that's okay too. Ah, Beverly says, I love that. And yes, that applies to my sister. Funny that I decided recently to just l- to just listen to her as felt I needed to help solve or she's looking for agreement. Ah, I am. It's amazing how the readings today are aligning with the intentions, with the work that you are doing recently. I love that. Oh, so much magic, so much alignment. Ah, thank you, Beverly, for sharing that. And I love your intention. And truly listening or being present with that person is like really healing in a way as well. So that's amazing that you decided to do that. And I'm sure that, she would definitely benefit or she would really, I hope that she really feels seen and valued and understood when you do that. Okay. Ah, Beverly says, now I can take it further. Yeah, Beverly got a confirmation from the universe. Beautiful. Okay. I am loving playing with these reactions because I just discovered it yesterday. So yeah, kind of excited. Okay. Uh, before we move on, a resource popped up in my head to do, you know, to do things like that, just like we talked about listening mindfully. So there is like a course that I created with different fun, unique kind of practices that would really help you connect with this, feeling of awe or beauty or this, peace and all of those kind of feelings in your everyday life without having to change anything about your routine. So yeah, if you feel called to check those practices out or to just add some liveliness in your day, then you can, check that out. If not, you can ignore it. Okay. We are nearing the end of this live. So I'm thinking, should we continue for one more reading or should we wrap this live? So yeah, thinking. What do you guys say? Should we continue? Should we wrap this live now? Like, do you feel complete? Okay. Hi, Wendy. Okay, thank you for the vote. So, since Wendy want one more, let's do one more. Thank you, Beverly, for giving me the flexibility or the freedom to choose. Appreciate that. Okay, but let's go with Wendy because seems like she just joined. So yeah, let's do one for our dear Wendy. And good morning to you. Good morning, Wendy. So Anna says, I'm content but happy to explore more. Love that. Love that when you are feeling content, because sometimes we keep on running, in our life after the next thing. But yeah, so let's see what wants to come through. You're so welcome, Wendy. Okay, so here is our wheel, and I invite you to bring to your mind anything you need guidance or support for as we spin our beautiful wheel. Oh, Okay, so the book that came up is Peace is Every Step, The Path of Mindfulness in Everyday Life by Thich Nhat Hanh. Ah, so lovely. This book is actually my favorite book, or the book, when you say that which book changed your life, then this is the one for me. So let's see what this amazing book has to offer us. Okay, so this is the cover page of our book. Anna says, love him. So do I. So do I, Anna. So much. We had a lot of books from him on the wheel. Still, we have a lot of them, but yeah, I reduced them because they were a lot. I just went into like binge reading every book of his. So yeah. Sure, Beverly. The title is Peace is Every Step, The Path to Mindfulness in Everyday Life. Okay, thank you, Anna, for typing it out. And yeah, Beverly loved him too. Amazing. Happy to hear so many fan of Tiknada. So many admirers of him. Okay, so just choosing the numbers for our game. Give me a moment. Uh-huh. So, my dear ones, I invite you to pick a number between 18 to 140. Again, no need to rush. I pick a number randomly. So, just share the first number that pops up in your head in the comments. Okay, glad that Pradeep got to choose a number that he wanted before. Oh, okay, okay. Love it, love it. Wendy and Anna chose the same number, and Amy is very close too. Okay, so I think we can, stop choosing numbers now. Okay. Thank you, Beverly. It seems like, 78, page number 78 has something that it really, really wants to convey to each and every one of us. So let's go to page number 78 directly because I love when these lovely coincidences happen. Yeah, exactly, Wendy. At the same time, too. Uh, and this hasn't happened like, you know, so every time this happens, I'm like equally surprised, and yet it's like a nice reassurance that there is some magic happening in the space. Okay, so page number 78. So there is a practice that came up from this page. Mm, So instead of guiding it, I'm going to read it out because it seems like a long practice. But yeah, so after reading it, if I have a similar practice, I can share it. If not, you can, apply it later on, or you can watch the recording and then, play it more slowly. So whatever works for you. Because we are nearing the time, so I cannot like read the whole big practice. Sorry, guide you through the practice. I will read the whole practice though. So ready? Okay. So yeah. So, when we are aware of our images, feelings, thoughts, words, and behavior, we can ask ourselves questions such as: why did I feel uncomfortable when I heard him say that? Why did I say that to him? Why do I always think of my mother when I see that woman? Why didn't I like that character in that movie? Whom did I hate in the past? Whom she resembles? Observing closely like this can gradually bring the internal formations that are buried in us into the realm of conscious mind. So basically, becoming aware of your, everything that you do, everything that you say, not everything, like when you are feeling, anytime you feel distress within your body, then bring your awareness to what happened, you know, and what was going through your mind, what were you feeling, what you end up doing, and maybe even, exploring more deeper that, uh, like what was I needing in that moment, or what, why did I end up behaving in that manner? Is it linked to something in the past, and this doesn't have to be always have to be a cognitive inquiry. It can also be more of connecting with different parts of us, like connecting with the part of us that felt that way in that situation, and then maybe like, having like a conversation with it, and we already learned a lot about listening in our past readings. So really listening that, what does that part of me, what was it trying to do, how was it, trying to protect me, and why when did it get job, like why did it behave in that manner? So like when we dig in deep, we can ask these kind of questions. I'm not going there because it would take us, much deeper. So let's, let us stay here. I do release, I think, a track yesterday regarding this kind of inquiry. So anytime you can practice it at the end of the day. You can reflect on the day, and then you can write down the times that didn't felt good, and then you can have an exploration into that. This would help you become aware of what is going on instead of just moving through life automatically, on autopilot, sorry. Yeah, so instead of moving through that, you can develop awareness. And once you become aware of what you do, what you say, what you think, what is happening underneath, then you can begin to change it, because only when you make the unconscious conscious, you can begin to change. You can bring a change in your life, right? So that's what this paragraph is referring to. And, okay, give me a second. Mm. I'm just taking a moment to see if I have that here, give me a moment. Mm, mm, okay, maybe I will search for the practice later. Anna says it's almost like resolving the mini traumas before they pile up, being aware of what triggers us. I love, how you put it, like, resolving the many things, the many challenges, the many stressors. I think, prefer the term stressors here. But yeah, I love that concept, that because they keep on piling up, the small things keep on piling up. And, you know, after a while, on one thing, we just blows up and we are like, why did I reacted like that for such a small thing, but we didn't look back, and we don't realize that, all of that we have been carrying on our backs. And then one more, like we added one more stone, big stone, like small stone to our big backpack, and then we were just not able to carry it, and it just everything just fall apart, in that moment. And it is not you, it's not that, there was something wrong with you, it's just you were carrying a lot, and it's so hard to carry. It takes a lot of energy to carry all of that. So this helps us process everything, anything that is important, anything that your body might be carrying, even though your mind has let go, the conscious mind has let go of it, but the unconscious mind and your body is still carrying it. So yeah, I love that, not letting it pile up and becoming aware of our triggers, and our behavioral patterns and our emotional patterns and our thought patterns, So when you become aware of it, the next time you do them, you are able to interrupt that cycle in the middle. And that's how change happens. That's how, transformation happens. Anna says, I was actually talking about Thich Nhat Hanh yesterday with a friend, so this very much validated that conversation and the practice for today. Love that. I don't know what is happening in this space today. Like every single, reading is kind of in a way related to that person's life, and it's just so nice to hear that. Thank you, Anna, for sharing, how aligned this reading was with that conversation. And yeah, and this practice is, something, the practice that I shared of becoming aware of these is, something which I started doing when I was starting this whole journey. And this was like really, really helpful to become aware of a lot of things, to become aware of all these kind of thoughts, different thoughts that I usually have that are not so good. And there is a pattern, so there are certain patterns of thoughts, certain types of thoughts that we all have. And some people have some patterns more, and some people have other patterns more, So, yes, it's so once we get to it, once we realize, okay, this is what we do, we can change it the next time. It becomes easier, So that awareness definitely leads to change. um, yeah, okay. And since I talked about the thought patterns, and if, in case you are interested in learning what I did, or what kind of thought patterns are there and how to overcome them, I have shared like a resource here, which you can use to learn about which kind of patterns that you are having, that your mind is, bringing up again and again, in which your mind thinks. And that practice that I was referring to, now let me take a moment to see if I can find it. It just got released yesterday, so I'm not sure if it is here. Mm, because that was the exact practice that I did. Mm, okay, see. Nope. Okay, nope. Okay, let me type it for you here. Instead, you can like find it on my profile. And it is like a free, video. So in case even if you don't have premium, you can still access it. It's called Reframe Negative Thoughts. And the technique that I'm referring to is called 7 column thought record. It is basically a technique from the therapy, from cognitive behavioral therapy. So, yeah, so this is the name of the video. So, I hope that this would help you out to, actually apply this reading into your life. So, yeah, that's it for this live. I hope, Wendy, this resonated with you in some manner. Let me know if it did. And if you can't type, that's also okay. No force. Um, let me take a sip. Yeah. So, you know, thank you so much for, tuning in. And I really hope that you received something of value from this live, whether it was the meditation that we did. It turned out to be more of a silent meditation, but maybe that's what you needed. Or whether it was the readings, the reflections, the talking, the energy. So, if you found anything from the space valuable for you, and if you feel called to support, my work, you can do so by making a small donation. And if you can't make a donation, but you really want to support my work, there are other ways. Like you can listen to my content, you can listen to the resources that I have created for you. And if you feel like, okay, this is something that, I can share with someone else, I have someone in my life that would benefit, then you can share those resources with them. So, yeah. um, Anna, thank you so much for sharing the name of the books. And dear Anna, since I feel like you like keeping notes and everything, you feel like a little bit organized to me from what I have known, you uh, from the last few minutes or from this hour. Ah, on that note, I want to share with you guys, especially those who are new, I have a group where I post everything. Okay, I okay, I got the right impression of Anna then. So Anna, you're going to like this group then. Because after each live, within like 5 or 10 minutes, I share the whole summary of the live, including the exact readings, the name of the books, and sometimes some additional reflections or exercises and stuff in my group, which is called World of Wisdom. And you can find it by going to my profile. Let me put it here. Yeah, so you can find it by going to my profile on the home page. When you scroll down at the very bottom, just below the playlist section, at the very bottom, you will see this group called World of Wisdom. And here you will find all the summaries, not just this live, but all the previous lives. So this was, I think, 240th live today. So yeah, this was 240, episode number 240. So yeah, if you feel called, you can join this group with 148 other beautiful beings. Ah, Beverly says, congratulations on a new resource for the community. Sounds wonderful. Ah, thank you, Beverly. That is so, that is so nice of you. Bye, Pradeep. Bye. I hope that you have a nice day. And on that note, since Beverly mentioned about resources, and I was anyway going to, but taking that as a segue. Uh, so, if you are new to me or new to this space, and if you want to know about all the beautiful resources that I have created for you guys, then you can find them in three places. So, I'm also kind of a little bit organized like Anna. So, I have organized all the resources that I have created for you in three places. The first place is just above that group that I shared with you guys, World of Wisdom. You will see this playlist section. So, all of my audios and videos have been organized into these five playlists. And, I will just name them. And if you feel like, okay, this one resonates with me, you can go ahead and save it because I have been adding new content into each of these. Not the first one, it is already finished. But yeah, the other ones. So the first one is a free 21-day mindfulness meditation challenge. The second is nervous system regulation techniques. So just like the one we did at the start, it contains, different regulation techniques. Especially right now, I have for the first, right now I have regulation techniques for fight or flight state, meaning when you're feeling anxious and angry, that kind of a state. So yeah, if you struggle with that, you might want to check out and try these, techniques and learn how you can signal to your body, to your nervous system that you are safe, that it's okay, that you can calm down right now. And I'm going to add more for other states as well. Like when you're feeling low, depressed, and when you're feeling like, I have to do something, but I can't move, that kind of free state as well. Then there's the third playlist called Wheel of Wisdom, Pick a Meditation. So, just like the game that we play here, this is a playlist where we play that kind of a similar game where the universe chooses a meditation for you. So, I have added the instructions in this playlist itself. And all the meditations here are completely free because of all the donations that have come in through the lives. So in this playlist, I have like 71 free meditations in case you want to explore. And then we have this fourth playlist called Little Reminders for You. This is the most close to my heart. And I have created it for those who struggle with a lot of negative thoughts and who wants to just feel held, supported when they're feeling really low. So yeah, that's this playlist is for. And the final one is called Therapy Tools and Techniques. So, in case you don't know, apart from being a mindfulness meditation teacher, I also have a background in psychology. I have done my master's and bachelor's in psychology. So I felt called to share with you guys all those wonderful techniques through this playlist. So you can find them here. You can check if there is a technique for what you are going through. So yeah, this was the first place where you can find all of my resources. About the other two, I will just be very, very, very brief. So the second place is the courses section. You can find all of my 7 courses. You can take the time to explore them on your own. And then the final place is the about section. So if you want to read more about me, who I am, what I have done, and I don't know, just about me, you can read a little bit about me here. Or if you want to explore more deeper, like, who I am, all of my other offerings and everything, then you can, check out my story and my offerings through this, in the about section at the very bottom. So yeah, that's all that, you know, I have to offer. And I hope that a certain resource, resonated with you, or I hope that it just, meet what you need right now. Thank you so much for listening to me so patiently. Thank you so much for staying till the end. I appreciate you taking out this precious time to spend with me and everyone in this space. And I bow down to the divine within you all. May you all be safe. May you all be healthy. May you heal from any emotional or physical pain. And may you and your loved ones live at ease. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow. So I'm not sure if that live is published yet or not, but I go live every single day now. So yeah, if you feel called, if you like this live, I would love to have you there. So in case, you want to join it and you are new to me, you can follow me so that you get notified about it. But yeah, I would love to have each and every one of you there too. So yeah, till then, take care. Bye bye. Have a lovely, beautiful, amazing day or night. And thank you so much for all the hearts once more. Thank you so much. Love you all. Thank you, Anna. Hope to see you soon. Thank you, Beverly. Ah,